everyone, it's Nikki. So today I am doing my everyday look, like a video on just a look, like a full face look that I do pretty much every day. I do it a lot when I'm not working because I work obviously at Sephora. Well, not obviously, but I work at Sephora, and I kind of like to do a little more makeup when I'm working there, but this is kind of the go-to look that I wear on my days off. I'll wear this even when I am working, like I'm working later today, so I'll wear this to work definitely. Because I think it's enough makeup where I look kind of like glam and pretty, but it's not too much where I'm overdone, so it can really work in like different settings and for different occasions. So I hope you guys can take away something from this. I did a full face video, like from skincare, pretty much most of the skincare, all the way up until like lips. So I hope you guys liked it, and let me know what you think down below. Okay, so right now my skin is just cleansed. I did not even put moisturizer on. I'm just gonna kind of clip my hair back so it's not annoying for you guys to see my hair, my face. The first thing I'm going to start with is the Philosophy, the Micro Delivery Mini Peel Pads, and these are just little pads and they're basically exfoliating, so you just rub them on your face and it's exfoliating all those dead skin cells off. I don't use these every day, but I use them probably about 3 times a week. So once I do that, I really have to let that sink in because it's a little bit sticky on your face, so I let that sink in, and while that's sinking in, I go ahead and move on to my eyes. So the first thing I do to my eyes is I prime them, no matter what. Even if I'm using a cream shadow, I always prime them. Lately, I've been using the Tarte Clean Slate Primer, which I like. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I do like it. It works really well. It's a super thin consistency, so you really don't need a lot. I just kind of smooth this all over. Then what I do is take my Bobbi Brown Longwear cream shadow. It's in the color Sandy Gold. I love this cream shadow. It's beautiful. It's so nice when it goes on. It doesn't look like cakey. It doesn't settle into like dryness on your eyelids. It just looks beautiful. So it has a slight little shimmer to it, but you can see it's basically just a skin tone color. It has a little bit of a golden sheen and tiny little flecks of shimmer. I'm definitely getting down in there. I mean, I use this pretty much every single day, even under other eyeshadows or by itself. So I take this and I kind of like dab it and smooth it on. I actually bring this right up to under the brow. The shimmer in it is so subtle that you can use it all over the entire lid. For under my eyes, I'm going to use the Clinique Even Better Dark Circle Corrector. Now this has a little metal applicator, so you just kind of squeeze some product out and blend this under the eye. So since my skin is pretty much dry now, I'm going to put on some moisturizer. I love this one from Fresh. It's the Umbrian Clay Face Lotion. It's oil-free moisturizer. It's really lightweight, perfect for spring and summer. I mean, it's just a great moisturizer. It's meant for oily to combination skin, and I just love the way it feels. So I'll just like pat this on, blend it out. So for eyes, I really like to use gel liner. I'm not a huge liquid liner fan. I find that it's kind of hard to work with, and I just really like the way gel liner looks. I like how there's different colors. They don't skip when you apply them for the most part. My favorites are the Bobbi Brown gel liners. I have a few of them, a lot of them actually. This one is Twilight Night Shimmer Ink, which is kind of a really deep mauve with some little like gold shimmers in it. So beautiful. And then another favorite is called Black Mauve Shimmer Ink, which to me is a little more brown, and it's definitely lighter than the Twilight one. So they're similar. I love playing with different colors instead of a black, even if they're neutral. I like playing around with colors that are not black, because to me, I love wearing black liner, but it's a little bit harsh for like a day look. I like doing either colored liner, like a deep violet. The Bobbi Brown Violet Shimmer Ink is awesome. I like sometimes doing greens, but for the most part I'll stick with something that's more neutral, like one of these two. So I think for today we're going to do the Black Mauve Shimmer Ink. It's a little bit more like subtle than the Twilight one. I love both, but just for an everyday look, I kind of tend to go towards something like this. So for this, I like to take an angled or a bent liner brush. They're my favorite to use. I find that they are the easiest to use and they give the nicest, most precise line. So I just kind of saturated the brush, and I'm just going to start lining my upper lash line with this. And I like to do a thick enough line where you can see it, but thin enough so it's not covering my whole lid. On the outer corner, what I'm going to do is wing it out just a little bit. A little flick. What you do is want to reach towards the end of your brow. And then kind of fill it in. So for the inner rims, I like to use pencil liners. I don't like to put gel inside of my inner rims. It makes me like nervous a little bit. I just like a pencil. It's easy to maneuver and it just works best for me. So I tend to do a pencil that matches the gel liner of my choice for that day the best. This is the Raven Kohl Power eyeliner. It's kind of like a raisin color. So what I do is tight line. So that means coloring in the upper waterline. I also lined the bottom waterline. Now if you have smaller eyes, you might either be afraid or not want to do that. Now I always think there's a choice between your eyes being like sultry and defined or your eyes being bigger. So you kind of have to make that choice. If you want your eyes sultry and defined, then line all around. If you want them bigger, then don't line in the inner part. Before I put mascara on, I'm actually going to go back to my face and I'm going to use my face primer. You can see that I like to skip around a lot in my daily look because I like to let things have a time to set. Now eye stuff doesn't need really time to set because it's usually longer wearing and it sets like immediately, but face stuff kind of needs a minute to like sink into the skin. So for face primer, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier foundation primer. I like it. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's just a good basic primer. Again, I'm going to let that sink in and I'm going to move on to mascara. So first I curl my lashes. This is the Lancome eyelash curler, which supposedly has the same technology as the Shu Uemura eyelash curler. I kind of believe that because I've owned both and I really like them both. So I'm going to curl my lashes, kind of going up the lash as I curl so it creates a nice curved shape. And if you don't think this makes a huge difference, well, it really, really does. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I always do my eyes first because if anything like falls down below the eye and you have to clean it up, it's much easier to clean it up when there's no foundation on than when you've already worked hard and put your full face on. So for mascara, love the Fresh Supernova. It's just one of my favorites. When you first get it, it's super wet, so just like pump it a couple times in there and it kind of dries it out. But you'll see throughout this video that I do like 3 or 4 coats of this mascara, not because it's not a good mascara with one coat, but just because I really like really long, thick lashes. So I never ever use the mascara that I use on my top lashes on my bottom lashes. I always, for the last probably 4 or 5 months, use my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. This is the only mascara I will touch to my bottom lashes because otherwise my mascara flakes, it'll smudge. This is the best thing that like ever happened to my little lower lashes because it just keeps them on all day long. My mascara looks perfect all day. So it has a little baby brush and you just kind of wiggle it back and forth until you get your desired look. I don't like a ton of lashes on the bottom. I just like to make it a little more defined. Alright, now that the eyes are pretty much complete, I'm going to move on to the rest of my face. I will touch up the eyes a couple times throughout the rest of this video, but I'll show you guys when I do that. Now what I'm going to do, since I'm going to use a powdered foundation, which is definitely new for me, but I'm going to do it in this video, what I'm going to do is use a cream concealer first. Now this is the Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer. Definitely my favorite concealer for the face. I think it's awesome and it sets really nicely. This is the color number 6 and I'm just taking a tiny little dab on the back of my hand and I'm just going to cover any blemishes that I can kind of see when I'm looking like either in the camera or in the mirror. I don't need to cover everything, like I just kind of go over like certain areas, like especially around my nose, which gets really red. And make sure it's nicely blended or else it can look gross, like cakey underneath the powder. I always conceal my chin too, because a lot of times it'll get red like throughout the day, like underneath foundation. What I'm going to do is actually use a powder foundation for my foundation. Now I don't usually do that until lately. Lately I've just been using the powder foundation. I love liquid foundation and I will never stop using that, but recently I just like tried this one day because my friend Danielle, who you guys saw in another video, she was telling me that she just uses this by itself, and I was like, oh, maybe I should try that. So I tried it and I love the results. Like, I love it. And it's good for days where I'm not super broken out like today. Like, this is a really good skin day for me. Usually it's much worse. So like on a day like today, I don't feel like I need a cake on you know, the heavy foundation. I could just use this and have the same like really like luminous and nice effect. This is the Laura Mercier Mineral Powder Foundation. I love it. My color is in the color Natural Beige, which is kind of like a light medium beigey tone. So I'm going to tap a little bit in the cap, and I start out with a little and then I work my way up depending on how much coverage I want. So I'm taking a brush that I love. This is the Real Techniques Multitask brush, which is an awesome one. Another one that I'll use for this is the Sephora Airbrush 55. They did make these black handles and a little bit like nicer looking, but essentially it's the same idea. And I'm starting like in the center of my face, like on my cheeks, and bringing it down to my chin and then on my nose, because that's kind of the places where I feel like I need the most coverage. Definitely the cheeks and the chin. The good thing about this foundation is that you can layer it super easily. So say that you have like a certain area of like problems, you can totally put like 2 layers on that area and it will still look flawless. It won't look cakey at all, no matter how many layers that you put on. The more you kind of buff this in and blend it out, the better this foundation looks. It kind of like becomes a part of your skin and kind of like melts in. What I'm going to do is conceal my under eyes. I love Makeup Forever concealers in general, but this one is my favorite. It's the Lift Concealer. They don't sell this in Sephora stores anymore, but they do sell it Sephora online. So this is number 2. Basically what this is, it's kind of an illuminating concealer. So I just use it under my eyes. You don't want to use it on your face because it's just not going to do anything for you. I don't usually set the under eye concealer. I find that if I set it, it starts to look cakey, and I just don't like that. So while I'm here, I'm just going to do another coat of mascara because I just tend to do that throughout the makeup look. Alright, now I'm going to lightly fill my brows. I use the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in brunette/dark brown. So I'll start with the lighter one on the side, which is kind of like a really nice taupe. And I'll just start in the inner part of the eye. Oh, I'm using a Sigma E65. It's like an angled eyebrow brush, I guess. It works really well for this. Just kind of gently brushing that through. I like my eyebrows kind of thick and kind of dark, but sometimes I have to control myself because I can go way too overboard. I just really want to have Lucy Hale's eyebrows because I just love her so much. So, but sometimes it's a little too harsh for me. Like it'll take away from my eye look. So I don't want all the focus on the brows, but I do like them to be a little bit more defined. So that goes in the first half of the brow. Then I take the darker one and I will start at the arch and just fill it in. I'm not really like too specific when I do this, honestly. Like I could be a little more neat, but I don't take it too seriously. I just kind of fill it in. Once I have my desired shape, I'll go in with a little spoolie brush and I'll brush them out so they look a little bit less harsh. I definitely switch off my bronzers all the time. My 2 favorites are the Chocolate Soleil from Too Faced. I love the way this smells. It just makes me so excited. I love it. And then a newer one is this Dior nude bronzer in the color 003. Love them both. Today I'm going to use the Too Faced one since it's a little bit lighter, and I'm just going to go for a more natural look, but you can see the difference. The Dior ones, if I want to like really contour and make myself look super duper tan, the Too Faced one is better for like an everyday look. But those are my 2 faves in case you're wondering. I start out at the tip, kind of at the tip of my ear, and I just bring it forward. Just kind of like that. And same on the other side. kind of above my cheekbone is where I go. Now if you wanted to contour more, go like right in the cheekbone, but I'm going kind of above it. And I'll bring it a little on my cheeks too, because that's kind of where the sun naturally hits you. And then I'll do my forehead. Focus it on the like hairline area, but blend it down also. Kind of encircle. Oh, and I'm also using the Real Techniques multitask brush because I just really like this brush a lot. It's one of my faves. It's awesome. And so just keep blending. And you can like kind of taste this bronzer and it's kind of delicious. I love it. Under the jaw, on the neck, which is important. And I just super blend this bronzer out. Like I just kind of go at it and just kind of like really buff it because I like to have like an all over bronzed glow, but I definitely have like focus points where I focus it, but then I kind of blend it like all over. So I'm not adding any more color at this moment. I'm just kind of buffing it out. Alright, and then what I do is take the same brush and I do over my eyelids, and it kind of just lands in the crease and gives me a really nice subtle definition because I'm like too lazy to put on eyeshadow on an everyday basis. So I just kind of take my bronzer and buff it in there, and that's just whatever is left on the brush. And it just kind of pulls the whole look together, and then in a second I'll do the same thing with my blush. So for blush, I've been loving the Foreplay palette from NARS. I am just super duper obsessed with this palette. I just love it. I just can't get enough of it. I wear it every single day and I'm in love. Alright, so first I take this lovely highlight, and this is a Tarte brush, sorry. I love how it's flat and I can get like in certain areas with it. So take this and I pop that on the tops of my cheeks. Just right there. I don't highlight anywhere else because I'm a little more oily, so I just do my cheeks. And then I'll just mix and match whatever I want for that day. Today I'm going to do Orgasm and this lovely bright pink. That's my favorite combo, but I combo them up all the time. Like, you can mix them all together, just do whatever you want. It's the best. I love this palette. If you don't have it, you need it. And then I also take that blush color and pop that in the crease of my eye, and that brings the whole look together. And that kind of gives the illusion that you're wearing eyeshadow when you're really not. And it's so easy. You just kind of like brush it through. And it gives a really subtle kind of glow to your eyes. I love it. And then I tend to just kind of like blend that because sometimes I go blush overboard and I gotta kind of control it. For lips, I change lips up every day. That's pretty much something that is always changing. I really tend to go for a light pink with like a lavender undertone, like Roman Holiday from NARS. We're going to do this one today. It's a little sample that I took home of a YSL lipstick. It's a new one, I think. It's the YSL number 8. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like something pink. And this is a really cute color. It's exactly like Roman Holiday, really close at least, in my opinion. But this might be a little more like pigmented and a little more pink. I have chapstick on, so I'm just going to kind of rub it out. So I'm just going to take a little. Obviously, if I had the lipstick tube, I would use that. I don't usually line my lips with anything. I just kind of put a lipstick on, and throughout the day, my lip color, especially when I'm working, it probably changes like 20 times during the day. If my eyes are more toned down, I definitely like to do a little bit of a brighter lip. So I love this color. Another color that I like is from YSL, which I think I'm going to buy really soon. It's the number 10. And this one's like a really, really hot pink. And then the number 8 is kind of like a pinky lavender pink. I don't know. I love them both. Alright guys, so that is my everyday look. Just a look that I wear when I'm off. Actually, I'm working today, so I'm going to wear it when I'm working today. I might add a little more eyeshadow, like a smoky eye or something. But this is just my like everyday look. I love it. I think it's subtle. It's pretty. It's still a little glamorous, which I always like to be no matter what. I love the lip color. I think it's so fun. The eyes are defined, but they're not overdone. I just think they just look good. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to see your everyday looks as video responses. You can leave it in the comment section, or like what you like to do on an everyday basis. And let me know if you have any more product suggestions so I can go to Sephora and take home some more samples because I love samples. Alright, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!